What is up, everybody? Been a minute since I was on this side of the street. How are we all doing? Is everyone else's screen weird? Oh, I think Jesse's just meant to join. All right. We're doing good. Energy good? Yeah. All right. Energy's great. Love it. Munir with the same haircut as me. That's it, mate. That's how we buy properties and grow wealth.
Yep.
Haircut fees. That's it. All right, we got the OG in the house. We got Jesse
Going
Ouellette.
on.
What up, boss? What up, what up, what up?
How we doing, man? Good to see
Good
you.
good to see you too, sir. Been a minute. I mean, been a minute on this stage. But sweet, we'll give it a second and we will start it right after. But um for those who are new here, for those who are old, I love prying into all your private lives just like Zuckerberg does. Let us know which part of the world you're in from. What's the temperature? Make me feel bad because for the first time in many moons, I am in a crappy winter weather. So open the chat bot, click on the chat, drop in the location, drop in the temperature. Let's see who's winning. Oh, Warsaw. So 20 degrees Celsius? Fahrenheit. Saudi has to be Celsius. Saudi is 47 Fahrenheit. Um, It'll be fun if that was the case. Sweet. We got some piped in crowd over here. We got a ton of people. The sauce. Let's talk about that. We're talking about MCPs for those who know and don't know. MCPs is something really, really, really exciting. MCP stands for Microsoft Certified Professional Certifications. No, I'm kidding. It does not stand for that. Microsoft technically does own this in some way or the other, but we're going to be talking about how to talk to the API that Smartlead has and how you can use that to just make your life 100 times easier, better, and more funner. And we got none other than one of the brightest minds in the space driving this, Jesse Ulay, who's the founder and owner of Lead Magic, rated one of the best, if not the best, lead verification platforms in the world. And we get to say that even though we have a competing product on our side as well, because there's no harm in owning the truth of what is good. Jesse has a fabulous product. For those who want to try it out, can give it a wing. Jesse, sir, for those who don't know you, who are you?
Yeah, hey everybody. Great to see everybody today. We're gonna get into some AI fun, I guess, is what the plan is today.
Indeedio, indeedio, indeedio. Cool. So we're gonna go through the agenda. But the main goal over here is gonna be at the whim. Jesse's gonna sort of whip his screen open and then walk through some of the things that he's done that has helped him automate a ton of his workflows using a model context protocol layer and using Smarty's API on top of that for hopefully most of you who are SL users. Even if you're not, maybe it might help you out in helping you automate your business workflows even more so. So, yes. And while that's being said, there's this fun special offer for everyone who sticks around till the end. If you know it or not, Smartly's got a nice juicy discount running on all the mailboxes that will help you drive more leads right now. So it's our birthday month. We're 3 years old. In dog years, that's 21 years. And that means you get 33% discount. The correlation, none. The math does not add up, but we thought we'll give you something that's already cheap, even more cheaper. So go on, sign in, grab the offer, get the mailboxes, start sending more and start winning more. There's a whole ton of cool features that we want to talk about that we're releasing as well, but we'll just wait for Jesse to start the screen share. And of course, if you have questions, drop them in the chat.
Yep, perfect. Okay, give me 1 second here. So let's just talk through here. I'm just gonna share. It's just always a painful process to
Not dox yourself.
get. Yeah, it's just always painful. Okay, so here we go. All right, so basically, here, let me share. All right, everybody can see the screen now.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so basically, I wanted to try to give an overview of what. So, I just actually for starters, who is using the who's building? Is everybody here sort of like building reports? I guess what are some of the things you're building today? Like, is anybody drop it in the chat so we can kind of see like what you're doing with the Smartlead API if you're using it or what you're doing with it.
Cool.
That would be good. Just
Maybe we'll
start
get
out
a
there.
drop of
Let's
hands if you can drop a yes if you're using the API to do automations and reporting, and can we get an N if you're not? Okay, we've got a fair few yeses. Right audience for you,
yes.
Jesse. Cool.
Okay, perfect.
API
Yeah.
users.
So today, where we're doing a lot of our automation is so let's just start out with the basics. What an API is for integrating and doing that. It's essentially being able to access the application through the database, right? It's every website is an API, if you will, just to simplify things. But when you go into the website, your browser renders some information. Now, what the API does is it gives it to you raw. So it gives you all of the information right on your screen. And you could also interact with the API and do additional things with it, right? So what we have here is this is the Smartlead API. Now, if you've never used an API, you're learning here today. But what every company does that is we have a lot of our APIs are in Clay. So for those of you that use Clay, we'll do that. But what you have is you get an API key from the vendor, and that's sort of your key to go in and sort of build what you need. Now, there's the Smartlead actually has an amazing API. They've got a lot of different ways to do things, and you could, if you really wanted to, right, you could run your entire Smartlead experience outside of the application. What I mean by that is you could do every single action that you could do inside Smartlead, the UI, in your own UI. So you could take really any of the functionality and you could just extend that out. Now, what people are doing that are sort of doing a lot of either vibe coding or YOLO or whatever you want to call it, that we're pushing on this movement here, is what people are doing is they're able to integrate these APIs into their own AI systems. So, for example, what you might do is you might actually set up something to go and do you prompt it and you would give it all of your campaigns and whatnot. So there's a couple of repos out there if you want to. I mean, this will get a little too deep here, but I'll just show you where they are. There's a couple of people who have been making these repos. We've got the MCP server. There's one that we've made. These are sort of unofficial, so they're not supported by Smartlead outside of the API, but they are there. They're available. So pretty simple. There's installation. You can install them, and then they work for that. And then, excuse me, we've on ours we've documented all of because we use Smartlead, of course, right? We love the product. It's great. If you want to install it, you can do that. It's on the
Oh
command
yeah,
line. You do
Jesse,
that.
sorry, just a quick one over here, man. I think some of us are struggling to see the screen size. Is it possible if you move it to the smaller monitor, if it's okay?
Let me see.
Or if you can just maybe go with the smaller browser window size. Thank you.
Uh, Let me see. Desktop one. Hmm. Is that any better? Maybe I can, well, I'll shrink the,
Oh, you can use 100%. Yeah, if you can do yeah, maybe do Command plus.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear fine. If you just do Command plus,
Okay.
perhaps I will zoom in a bit more.
Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you now. Just, hold on.
I think it's me. Yes.
Um,
Enhance.
that's weird.
La 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 la
Uh,
la la.
I'm having a hard time hearing you now. That's odd.
Can you
Um,
hear anything? Nope.
I just lost.
No, we can hear you fine.
Hold on.
We can hear you just fine.
That was weird. I just like,
You got a glitch.
um,
Thanos
that
came.
was the glitch in the matrix right there. All right. Are you there?
Yeah, we're still here, man.
Huh. Just like cut out here. That was weird.
All right. Maybe we can just
Okay.
kick off with where we got right now. If you can just, yeah, zoom in
Yeah, if
to
you could
some.
ask, yeah. Let me just see what happened here. Give me 1 second.
Sure. No worries. While Jesse's over there trying to figure it out, for everyone else over here, the approach that we're going to be taking is effectively trying to build our own MCP. And the goal of that effectively means that you do not need to use the Smartlead UI. You can effectively just talk to Claude and ask Claude to do everything for you. And that's, the win. We've got our own MCP as well that is official slash unofficial and not live that we'll give to a bunch of people. But I think a ton of cool applications have been created by a ton of cool people in the market that you can try and use as well. So while Jesse's coming back on, uh, we will work through that piece. Since I've been completely flaked right now and I need to figure out how to speak on the spot um, to a crowd of a couple of hundred people, um, I am going to go ahead and just talk through the things that we're going to have come through our way regardless. So the few things, oh, there we go, Jesse's here. Woo! Rescue me, Jesse. I'm kidding. Um, I love all your people. Deal with this conversation at all points in time. Ask to unmute and make co-hosts.
I don't know what happened there. I like couldn't hear. The sound cut out. So basically, you have in here what we've done. There's a bunch of them out there now. All we did, I mean, just to make this sound a little simpler here, it's not that crazy. What we did, we took the Smart Lead API. We just essentially scraped it, all of the inputs and the outputs, and we made the MCP. And we just made it the way that you're sort of like the way that they tell you to make it. We added all of that. So what you would do here is you could install this, and then we made an installer so you can actually use this in code. So like this actually works on here. So you could actually use this in your own environment. So you're able to basically do all of the functionality that you can do out of the API. Now, what's cool is you tie a bunch of these APIs together, right? So you basically would allow you to build out like whatever analytics you want to do. Now, I guess what reporting are people doing today? Like drop that in the chat if you could, just so I could here, I'm gonna
So
share the right screen.
it's just like an example such as number of mails sent
Yeah,
or
what are some of the things that people are reporting on today? Like they might be reporting on today.
yeah, okay. Anyone can drop in any of the API users if you all know some of the things that you're using right now on the API to drive. Okay, reply rate's one of them. I think positive replies is another one. Lead to reply ratio is another one. I know people tend to use out of office rate, seems to be another common one as well.
Okay. So if you were going to, so then okay, that's perfect. So then when you're doing that, what you would do today, so basically, if you were going to if you're going to make one today, so if you're going to automate this report, right, the ones you would choose would be, you could get your campaign, you could get your campaign analytics over here. So you would get your campaigns,
I
through
think
the
it's a
API over here.
list campaign analytics endpoint, and then from there you'd find the categories of the
Yes.
leads and use that to classify all that. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So that would be how you would do that, and then you would do the MCP. You could just what the MCP does is it just uses that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just set up we're going to set the
Environment.
MCP for Smart Lead up, and we're going to install that here, and then we're going to basically allow us to do any of these endpoints. And then we've also got in here 1 second. So for our Smart Lead for the MCP that we have, which is in here, you're able to do that. You just have to set. There's only one variable you have to set. You just have to set your API key here, which you can get out of your Smart Lead inside the app if you want, right?
Got it.
That's all you have to do. So to do that, all
Do you want
right.
to
So
use an API key that I have, or you got one you want to use?
I have mine working. Um,
Okay, cool. If you have yours working, we just run with that.
so yep. So we're good on that. I just want to make sure I got it all
But
set
just
up.
before we
Okay.
got that, Jesus Christ, that needs to be zoomed in.
I'll zoom it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you saying something?
No. I just wanted to ask what what's it called? What the installation process was over here. Is it just downloading
Yeah,
the
so
GitHub
pretty
project?
simple.
Yeah.
Yep. So essentially what I did here, I just put my this is Cursor if you haven't used it. Now, what Cursor allows you to do, blah blah blah, you can go in here and just it allows you to basically hook up to the you know the API. So we've installed it. What I did is I just installed the now what you'll see in here is you'll go into here and you'll see
Jesse, I'm
the
gonna be
Smartlead.
a douchebag, unfortunately, and ask you if it's
Yep.
possible to switch the screen somehow. I think we're all kind of struggling
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
no one can see it then.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. I thought it would. So it's too small. Is it the resolution?
Yeah, I think the resolution is, I think you're doing a 21 by 9 inch, so it's like
Okay.
lines all over the screen, so we can't see much, if not anything.
Yep. Yep. Let me just size down here.
Or you can do that as
Oop.
well, yeah. Go caveman.
Um, okay, hold on. How about that?
Oh yeah, heaps better. Heaps better.
Better?
Heaps better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what I'll do a lot of the times is once you get this running, then you can just say then once it's finally running, you can you basically have the MCP running, then you're allowed to then you can just ask questions of it. So basically you set it up and what an MCP is it runs on your local, you can run it on your local machine. And then after that, what you want to do is you want to basically just say, okay, what tools are available, and then this will allow you to this will basically allow you to run this will allow you to run any of the Smartlead API queries that you want. So you'll be able to out of the 113 tools that are there, like which ones are available. I got to put my API key in again.
Yeah,
Give
you
me
gotta
one
type it.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
So for
set the
those who are just
environment.
following through while you're setting it up in a cycle, just quickly, for those who want to do it, we'll give the GitHub link. It's obviously free. All you've got to do is download the project, and once you download the project, do that first instruction over there, which is npx smartlead hoopty hoop. And the second you do that, you can get this running locally, and you can then use that to go ahead and start running your transactions, or your reporting or whatever it may be. That's
Yep.
pretty much all there is to it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Then you can sort of see, you're going to be able to see it working there in a second here. So some of the workflows that you could do would be the best ones to do are the reporting, but then what I think people should do is be able to, it's loading up the API key here, but what the best ones to do would be getting your campaign data, seeing how your current campaigns are running, all of that. Oh, somebody have a question?
We can go to it in a bit. Alan, we'll get to you in
Yeah,
a
why don't we
second.
go to the
Yeah,
question
second.
first,
Yeah.
just so we can just while it's loading it.
You want us to unmute?
Yeah, we can go to the question first, just while it's loading the ENV.
One second. On a tech conversation. Swapnil, do you want to just help unmute? I think it was Alan. Yep, Alan. Alan, if you can just unmute yourself, mate, turn on your camera, that'll be fabulous.
Yeah, cool, bro. I'm in Sydney as well, so it's like
Oh yeah, nice.
no, all good. Appreciate it, Jesse. Dude, is there a way to install it without having to install it on your local computer? Like that's probably like a big barrier
Yeah,
for me so far. Like
yeah,
I've
you can host it somewhere too. Yes, yep, you could definitely host it somewhere.
tried it with
Um,
where you like I know Vub, you mentioned about the API. It's just like you basically get the URL and then you put it like the header, the like you
So
mark it.
you get an API key, and once you get the API key, you can pretty much, I think with the GitHub project that he's got over there, you can host it on Railway or you can host it on Heroku. Heroku will do that for you as well. And then once that's done, you can pretty much just have an open conversation with that project effectively.
Right.
I'm just trying to it's screwed up my resolution. I'm just trying to get back to the um it's not there. I'm sorry. It's
You
what
lose your
is
whole
this here?
screen.
Because I got half my screens in one resolution now, so I've got yeah, so go ahead. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, no, it was just about like being able to host it. Like Fab, you mentioned, to be fair, I like Heroku, the apps, I haven't heard of them before. Like zero, like think of it, zero familiarity, like
Okay,
in terms
sure.
of sort of,
Fair enough. So I think this session is just going to sort of show you the capabilities of what you can do.
yeah,
However, if you want to actually go through the hosting cycle, I'll try find some videos to sort of send through post this call in the automated email that goes through in
yeah,
terms of how you can get this set up and sorted yourself. Do note, we actually have a self-hosted MCP as well, already live and running, but that's probably not as specific to what Jesse has over here. However, the TLDR is the API.smartlead.ai segment. Go there. In your subscription page, you have an API key. You just want to get out that API key with the project Jesse's created. And then the deployment part of it, what we'll do is we'll follow up with videos to share with you on how you can get it hosted on Railway or Heroku. I know these are, if you're not a developer, asking you to be a developer is not the goal, but there are some pretty vibe coded approaches over here where you don't need to know exactly what you're doing to get it live and sorted for you as well. So we'll get that in place ASAP.
okay. All right, sounds good. Thanks, bro.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Just let's see here. So let me is this
Yeah, we can see a
yeah,
desktop.
okay. There it is. Okay. It's really hard to use it without the right resolution, so I wasn't. Okay. So get campaigns, right? So let's just run the command here to just get the campaigns. So what I did is you can essentially see all of your smart lead. I'm running it now. It's running in the background, right? So it's um basically it's running in the background and you can see the smart lead campaigns, but um it'll the smart lead's running, it's loaded all of the different the API connections running. It's got access to pretty much everything. I just copied the smart lead API key, or sorry, the smart lead like API. And now what you're able to do is you're able to basically run all of the get all of the campaigns here. So here I'll show you right now. Um, what this does is it'll set up a local environment for you so you can access the smart lead APIs. That's really what it is. And then now it's running. Now it'll install all of the tools on you can install them. So I use multiple different I'm using Claude, I'm using like all of the different, Cursor, Claude, all of that. And it'll just try to install them there. So that's really that's really what I'm trying to do here is that. So now here, I know it's off the screen here. I'm just trying to, okay.
Protect your API
Um,
key.
yeah, it's just like we're trying to not dox ourselves here, but it's always fun to deal with this. So basically, you're able to get it on the screen, you're able to get it there, and then you go into Claude, you can go after there, you can get it. Now it's running with all the tools, you've got it all set up. Once it's set up, you can kind of tell these are all of the commands you could do. So if you want to create campaigns, now where some of the advantages are is around actually bringing in other tools. So if you said something like this, right? If you said use Smartlead list campaigns to show me all my campaigns, you could do something like that, and then you would be able to you would have that would be available to you now. So when you're doing anything inside of Cursor or any of these tools, you could actually and we'll put out more videos with. I know this is the first one we're doing here. We're obviously seeing some of the, but basically, like what you're able to do is see, okay, now I can go and get the configuration working and all of that. And you're able to kind of run any command you want against all of your against all of your smart lead campaigns. So let's share this. All right. So now it's up and running. You would have this. I know this probably is going to be a little bit over people's heads, but it's just one of those things. Like, so now you have the now you can sort of see all of your MC. You can see all of it through here, and you can, it's work. It's working. So you've got the inspector up, and you're going there. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go into the testing of it. So I'm not going to have it test all of the trying to get the right thing on here. So basically what we'll be able to do is so now we're getting all the campaigns. This is what you'd have that comes out of your normal prospecting, all of your campaign data and all that. So that's where where you could actually see something there. What I would say is after that, you can load up what a lot of people are using is Claude Desktop. So Claude Desktop has inside it a smart lead provided tools. So so now once you've got it inside here, you can run any of these tools inside Claude, right? That's sort of what you want to do. So you can now go into Claude. I was trying to show that step. I know that didn't probably come out as good as it could have, but you have access. This is what a lot of people would want access to is
Oh yeah,
give
great. So you can
me,
just ask me, yeah, give me how many campaigns are running right now. Yeah.
yeah, right. And then it's going to go and it should know that it'll run it against,
Smartlead API, MCP. Yeah.
it'll run it against the Smartlead API if things work. And this is where it starts to get interesting. And then you could start customizing and building your own reporting. That's where I got to turn off. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Always allow.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
always allow, and I'm doing active. So now it's going to go pull. Yeah, of course, there's going to be. I did some
API
stuff to
error.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So go
If you
ahead.
want to take a second while you just get it set up,
Yep.
I'll just show
Yeah, do
them what
that.
the output of what it looks like when we have it running fully. Because I know some people have had some comments over there as to, how does it actually work, what's the value chain, etc., which is all fair questions.
Yep.
Look, the goal over here, everyone, is so that you can interact with this and run your own custom reporting and make it super easy for you to pretty much communicate with this with the platform, right? So I've got over here an example of a campaign that was having issues with respect to the mailboxes connected, and we had to understand what was going on. So all I did was pretty much just say, hey, can you go ahead and review this campaign and let me know what's happening to it? So it says, all right, I'm going to go and find out why there's a low volume for this particular campaign. And I'm going to run a full bunch of tests. Like I'm going to run a diagnostics. I'll check the volume. I'm going to analyze the mailboxes and do everything. And what it's done has pretty much come back with its own compromised breakdown of information for you. That is pretty much your own analyzer, letting you know of the fact that, yep, there's some critical issues. Obviously, this is a stupid thing. It's paused, so ignore that part. But it's also broken down what's happened over here. Looks like these mailboxes had a permission sending issue. Along with that is also found certain problems as to what you can. Number one, you want to fix the permissions on Outlook side. You probably want to add more leads to this because the campaign currently has 0 leads added and the sequences have reduced. You also want to focus on the number of mailboxes that are used to be sending through. And then you can even run a general health check saying, all right, there's X amount of mailboxes, there's 94% connected. In the recent performance, there's a 4.3% bounce rate. So the main culprit over here as to why it's not working seems to be a Microsoft auth permissions issue that you want to go ahead and sort out. So the intent of any model context protocol setup over here is effectively to allow you to communicate with the application or your own product and get your own custom set of reporting without having to depend upon an API and a developer to set that up for you. So the setup piece is a bit of a complex area, which again will give you the guidances to go ahead and do that towards. However, once it's set up and running, you can pretty much communicate with this in whichever way you want to get the output that you're after. So I'll actually run one more test for y'all to sort of just help guide through that structure. Give me a second. I've just got some random test over here. So I'll just say, I'll just open a new chat. So just give me one sec. Let me know if you can still see this. I'll just click on new chat. Um, hey, for the campaign, this and user 2, please find out the overall mailbox health as well as if the copy is set up fine, right? And pretty much have created my own sort of little AI engine, cold mailer to help me out run this. So it's going to go to a bunch of things. Of course, please forgive me. This is really like a crappy testy campaign, and it's going to go ahead and do that for us. So right now, what it's done is analyzing the mailboxes, analyzing the campaigns, and it's doing a full breakdown, saying, look, this has 3 mailboxes, all properly connected with no issues. There's no blacklisting because it actually does the blacklisting test for you as well. The areas of concern are basically there's very low sending limits. It's only 2 per day. There's mixed performance of Gmail and Outlook having problems over here. We also have 36 mails sent with a date range. Now it's also gone and done something really fun, which is a copy analysis for you with a given score as well. So the criticality of this over here is, of course, like I said, this is a test, so you can ignore it, but it says, hi, subject line, body test 1. And the problem just given over here is the subject line missing in 2 and 3, which is fine because we don't want to have subject lines in 2 and 3 because we want that to be follow-ups. There's 0 call to actions, minimal personalizations, no spin tags, and no timing delays as well. Along with that, it's also giving you some advice on what you actually have to do to make sure your campaigns perform well and do great. So all that was simply a prompt saying, hey, for this campaign, find out what's happening. And that effectively is the power of what you will get with a properly set up MCP infrastructure that gives you that reporting and guiding that will help you succeed. So this is one version of it. And Jesse's also got another version set up on his side as well. So Jesse, if you want to share your screen and go through it, we can go through that too if you want.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so I gotta just turn here. I was gonna turn Claude back on. It was the easiest. Of course, we were trying to protect the keys before, and then it was the best plan that didn't work. So basically, here, let me share. There we go. Okay. You can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So where you got to go in Claude, this is kind of as important, is I am having an issue right now with basically the
getting it running because
there's some issue going on, but this is good to know because what I did is I screwed up the MCP as I was doing it. So basically, where you go in Claude to fix this problem, you use Claude Desktop. Like that's a good way to browse it. So if you have the MCP running, you just have it in Claude Desktop. The logs are there. You can do all that. That's where, and you got to make sure the environmental variables are set. What's happening right now, and this is probably good to show people, is just when it's not working, it looks like this. And what you got to do is basically, you got to fix this problem. So this is like this is one of the problems that will come up. So if you want to fix that problem, you go into there. But I'll try to
I can walk through one or two more things.
It did work. It did work. It did work here. I'll show you. So here's the hold on. Okay. Can you share? You can see the screen now, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we go to Claude. Yeah. So, it's now working. You have 2 active campaigns. All right. How many emails am I running? So when you do it, it'll go and it'll start to get used to running it with that. Now, if there's a bug here, there might be something going on, and I'm getting a few errors. But basically, what it allows you to do is talk to Smartlead through Claude, and then if you think about what that does, that will then figure out, okay, great. So now always allow. Let's just do that. Now it's going to go through. Here's all the campaigns. It'll get sequence it. It'll just do all of the things that okay, of course I'm getting some errors. But if you do it right, I just have to reinstall things because I screwed it up there. But if you do that, it would have done these sequences, right? It would have said, I'm going to go do all of these API keys, and then I would get all that information. It would fix all of that, and then it would give you all of that information. You'd be able to take that, and then you could output that. So these are like 5 or 6 API calls where you might have needed a developer to build, right? So that really helps a lot in terms of your process. So you can then essentially talk to, I'll get a video out on this. I apologize for that. I just tried to do some things before. But this is, by the way, this is good to see because this is what can happen pretty quickly. A lot of this technology is the installers are a little weak. There's a little bit of like, every computer, so you can see like, okay, we're running these campaigns, you're running this volume, here's how many emails you've sent. Okay. Then you could talk to it and say, hey, do I have any accounts do I have any campaigns that are performing? What do I do with those? You essentially turn your Smartlead into a chatbot, but then you can combine it with all of your other functionality that you have on AI, right? So that really helps a lot. And that's, this will be like the first call for this type of stuff. But I'm even happy to do office hours if people are having problems with this type of stuff. So I've coded up now in MCP, so I have pretty good knowledge on this. I know it doesn't look like it based on today's performance, but still, I wanted to show you some of the basics of you can talk to Smartlead and you could set up campaigns, you could have it clean lists, you can combine it with other, like we have an MCP lead magic. So if you wanted to find the emails before you push it into Smartlead, you could do that. There's just a lot of things you can do once you start to unlock all of this stuff. It becomes a real cool process to start.
On that
Any
note,
questions? Yep.
on that note, if you're okay, I'm just going to share a quick screen share to show people what they can do, kind of what you've built out, but in a somewhat different version. So some of you might actually have access to this. It's called Smart AI, and that's funny name, right? That's effectively an MCP. So a bunch of you have this accessed right now. All you have to do is go to the bottom right corner, click on this little cute little guy, and you can do exactly what Jesse said. You can ask Smart Insights, which will just give you information about your campaign data, or you can go down full crazy analytics breakdown with respect to diagnostics and so on and so forth, right? You can ask it to go do a bunch of tests like mailbox performance optimizer if you want. You can add in an email address if that is the case, or you can even do it for campaign performance, right? Which is what we've got over here. I'll do it for VJ Test 3. Right, so if I just do that, I click on generate prompt and I just run it. Ideally, now AI doesn't screw me over on the demo, but you'll be able to do pretty much what Jesse showed, but not with the level of flexibility he's got, because with a custom MCP, you can do the whole thing. But what this is going to do is run that whole diagnostics test for you, figure out what's happening, give you that information. But again, this is in application. The whole value chain of having your own custom MCPs, you can do this on Claude by yourself without having to do any of the, contextualization that we've set up or the constraints that we would have set up on our side. So we'll give it a sec to see this show up over here. But once that's done, we should be good to go. Woo, okay. So you can see audit log, active, performance, email count. It says, yep, blah, 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 hoopty hoop. Domain health has also been checked. Not blacklisted, passes all tests and IP tests, not blacklisted. Sequence versions done. Lead qualities also good to go. Content score is pretty bad. Critical issues and medium issues, as well as minor and recommendations of what you can do to succeed. So all that just by simply saying, give me an analysis of this campaign and you're good to go. So this is some of the small power sets you can find by actually doing and utilizing the MCP in your own context and manner. So hope that helps. Sweet. How can I do this? Et cetera, et cetera. Can I use it in beta? How do I get access to Smart AI? Cool. So Jesse, were you able to go ahead and so is the primary use for the MCP just reporting? No. Jesse, do you have any other use cases you've seen people use the MCP for right now?
Yeah. So what we're doing a lot of is inbox health. So like, hey, are these? So that's a good one. The other ones that I'm seeing that are working pretty well, any of the inbox health stuff is good. Any of like, I wanted to go run across all of the lead lists and everything on that, in terms of like validation or finding emails. Or look, if you're good, if you're pretty good at this, you could actually just take lists and you could develop, like if you do it, what we're doing is you can, a lot of those workflows that you build, like it's probably the next level, but like a lot of those workflows that you build in Clay, you could probably build, you could take some of that data that you have in Clay and maybe you could add other, you could add other stuff or check like list hygiene and stuff like that. That's really another good use case. The other ones that we're seeing is, there's some good ones on, We've built one that what it'll do is it'll go in, it'll email a webhook for us, and then it will take that data and we'll see if any of the inboxes were set up improperly. And it's funny when you do this, if you do a test, so basically what it'll do, it'll build a test campaign, and the test campaign will then email the webhook, and then the webhook will just tell you if it's got like DKIM on and all the other stuff that's there. So that's another good one to test. And I know there's some of that capability is in Smartlead as well, but like I'm just talking like overall, if you want to, it gives you a lot of flexibility, and possibly even we're starting to see some reply management stuff too.
Oh yeah,
So
okay.
you could a couple other tools like so we I know you guys have an N8N hookup, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people are using like N8N is another one that a lot of people will use with it, right? So they'll kind of like N8N is a great way to do this in a little bit of a less code way, like if you're afraid of the code stuff. But people will put it in code and then they'll go at it that way. Or they'll go at it with the N8N stuff is the other stuff that they'll go at it with. So N8N is a great way to sort of do this as well.
Okay.
But it just allows you to really basically hook if you think about everything, you're just trying to hook it up to AI, right? Like you're trying to do whatever you can do to hook all of this technology up to AI. So if you want to get a better performance, client reporting, trying to think of some other use cases. Like I think another one that's important, and Smartlead's added a lot of these and these new API endpoints. So watching your campaigns on like an hourly basis or but not you, like more of an agent-based approach, that actually works a lot too. That works really well right now too. So like being able to get like updates, treating it more like an analyst that would sort of run the campaigns for you. That's really what it's doing. If you think of it that way, that's the best way. Those are some of the best ways to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
automations and reporting effectively to manage your campaigns to make sure things are sorted out. Okay, that's pretty cool.
also inbox setup. I mean, you guys have smart delivery and all of
Yeah,
this. The inbox stuff that
as smart
you
delivery
guys,
as well. So start doing placement tests
yeah.
as well. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, that's a great use case where you trigger it, so they set up the inboxes for you, and then all of a sudden you can now use different inboxes. Um,
Get that going.
yeah,
Okay,
so anything
fair
you
play.
don't need, you don't want to hire a dev. Like it really saves you from where the real cost is if you get it up and running right, you'll save a lot of money on hiring like a lot of developers that are like sort of like ops people to manage all of this stuff. This is like where the biggest savings is.
Fair enough. Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah,
So just tons
that's
of
like the big.
automations. Okay, fair play. Fair play. Fair play. Fair
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, it's really how deep, it's your mind is your limit, right? Like it's the bicycle of the mind, right? As they say, it's your computer, right? Like it's like okay, well, this person can do that, but people get limited pretty quickly, and it's really if you're able to expand a little bit there in your own mind. I mean, that's alerts, right? Like copy recommendations on new copy. I mean,
well, that's
there's
what
just a
we've
lot.
seen a lot of people do is effectively use it for copy creation and copy management as well. So, 100%
Yeah.
aligned on that piece. Cool. We are running tuned on time over here. Anything else you wanted to cover through Jesse from your front? Otherwise, we will let the beautiful
No,
people.
and what I'll do is, V, with your permission, I'll record with your team if you want. I'll record one where we just we go through it like step by step because I
Yes.
know we went through it kind of quick today, and also there was
Yes.
some configuration with the resolution and the E and
Yes.
D. But yeah, any of the tools work, Cursor, Claude, and I think what's great about Smartlead is they haven't gotten they're exposing everything on their API more than really any other sequencer out there that I've seen. And what's nice about that is it really gives you like they're not like vendor lock-in on you, right? Like some of these vendors aren't really exposing a lot of this stuff. Like you can do every single action in Smartlead on an MCP now. So that's what's nice is they have so I went and did a market study on this, and they're the only ones that have all of the data. The rest of them, there's no way to like, yeah, they're really, really good at this, and they have 120 API endpoints, which is pretty cool because that gives you a ton of flexibility to build these, and that's why I think of Smartlead as like the best just from that perspective. So,
Sweet.
you know,
You're a legend. Thank you, sir. So what we're
and
gonna be
I don't work for them. So,
Yeah. No, you're an OG. We wouldn't be here without you. So what we'll be doing over here is everyone, all the 300, 400 people registered, we're going to send through a YouTube video of how to do the setup. Even though you're non-technical, we'll show you how to get it going line by line, step by step. So you got this running on your own side. The value chain is very straightforward. You can basically, I think Jesse said this, you can convert SL or any product into a chat experience. So you don't need to actually experience the UI. You can just talk to it and get your way through. So lovely. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for those who stayed up very late at night. We will give you a full documentation breakdown and a step-by-step guide on how to do this and keep it extremely simple so you can actually win and actually make a bunch of money out of this as well. Sweet. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful Friday. Chat to you all soon. Bye.
yep. Sounds good.